new Reddit account for my podcast, but upon scrolling, I have a serious question that I feel I'd get some insight on. Has anyone ever seen a ghost that was the exact likeness of someone who is still alive? About 15 plus years ago, I had played with a Ouija board a few times and lived in a haunted apartment. A lot of paranormal things occurred during my time when I lived there, between ages 10 and 18, still shaken from most of it, hence starting a paranormal podcast. Anyway, when I was about 14 at night, I was alone at home and was sitting at my family desktop computer, 2008 to 2007, and felt a presence behind me. When I turned around to see what it was, it looked like my older sister in 1800s attire staring at me. But my sister was still alive. I nearly shat my pants and didn't return to the living room for the rest of the night. For years, I tried to get to the bottom of every possibility, i.e. deceased family members that looked like her, or possible she had a twin who didn't make it. I was desperate to rationalize it. Honestly, still am. Has anyone experienced anything similar? Maybe someone had some insight. Please go check out Iliketoscaremyself podcast. You can find it on Spotify. I like to scare myself. I'll keep it simple. My sister's bed is next to my bed. So close I used it like a nightstand. I put my clothes for tomorrow and my glasses on that bed before I went to sleep. The glasses were at one end of the bed, while I was on the other, and the clothes were on the same end. I woke up at like 2 a.m. for some reason and started playing a game on my iPad. When I was going to the bathroom, I went to reach for my glasses, only to see that they were gone, and my clothes were messed up on the side of the bed close to me in front of my face. I initially thought my sister just moved my things, so I just got annoyed at first and started looking for my glasses, and while doing that, it made less and less sense to me this was the case, because my sister didn't live there, and she didn't have keys to the house. When I did find my glasses, they were at the foot of my bed, where my chargers are. I put them on, and this is when I really took in the situation. I went to the bathroom, very confused, and kind of creeped out. But my grandma lives with me, so I just try to stay calm and ask her in the morning. In the morning, when I asked, she said she didn't move my stuff and never got up last night. She said I probably sleepwalked. That just doesn't seem right to me, because I never sleepwalk, because I've never sleptwalked before, and I am not at the age where it just starts happening as a teenager. When I'm stressed, I can experience insomnia and exhaustion, which triggers episodes of sleep paralysis, but no one's ever told me I sleptwalk, and I'm not a particularly heavy sleeper. Plus, the way I tuck my feet in when I go to sleep under my sheets was the same when I woke up. And I don't know much about sleepwalking, but I thought it's simple motions and repeated behaviors. It's a non-sensual pattern, yes, but it's almost too perfect. It's my conclusion that it was my grandmother, but I just don't see that either because she doesn't sleepwalk either. Just something weird that happened. When I was pregnant with my first child, my great-grandfather passed away. At his funeral, I made comments saying how I really wish he could have made it to see my daughter born, as she was the first of his great-great-grandchildren. Fast forward a few months at like 5 a.m., I woke up having a contraction. I sat up, and standing at the foot of my bed was my great-grandfather, but he quickly disappeared. Later on at the hospital, I was telling my mom about this, and she said she keeps finding pennies in odd places this morning too. She has a theory that loved ones who move on leave coins around us. Coins around for us." She literally finished this sentence, and I looked down on my big pregnant belly, and there's a penny. I suppose he wanted us to know he was still able to be there. I just thought this was a really cute story. So, my grandmother died long before I was born, but she and my grandfather apparently had an amazing and loving relationship. End of 2021, my grandfather was in the hospital. We weren't aware at the time, obviously, but he would die just a couple weeks later. My dad was staying the night with him, and he was complaining that he was cold. My dad covers him up with a blanket, and then my grandfather says, "Get one for your grandmother too," and pointed to the empty chair. I've heard of people seeing ghosts or angels or something of loved ones towards the end of their lives, and we all think that's what was happening. My husband and I both loved our grandpas very deeply and even named our son after each of them. Ever since he was born, I have gotten a strange feeling in his bedroom that we were being watched as I put him to sleep. He would stare at one specific corner of the room and smile or just blank stare. My grandpa was a state trooper, and his badge number was 439. My mom and I both regularly wake up at 4:39 a.m. ever since he passed. We always thought it was strange but peaceful. My husband's bedroom radio as a kid after his grandpa passed away would randomly turn on and play music they enjoyed together. Over the last few weeks, our son, 2 now, regularly wakes up screaming at 4:39 a.m. The last 2 nights I've gone in, his music box has been playing nursery music. He is still in a crib, and the music box is across the room and has to be pressed on by a button. I don't see any explanation for it. We brought him into our bedroom the first time, and my husband asked him, "What's going on, buddy?" My son said, "I hear him. I hear him in my ears." Even typing this gives me chills. I'm not necessarily scared, but something definitely feels strange. What do you guys think? Maybe just our grandpas visiting. Maybe just our grandpas visiting?
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross